Learn to Fight. I'm your host, Manny. And today we're getting into the techniques that everyone should know, regardless of who you are. If you're a old lady, a young kid, a nerd, someone who practices martial arts regularly, these are the moves that everyone should know. People are getting weaker and weaker by the day. Men are getting weaker. There's this video that went viral of a 2-year-old kid was playing at the gym or whatever, playing at the playground, and an actual monkey came out and attacked the kid. The kid's mom came out, grabbed him up. The dad came out, who's supposed to protect the kid, and the way he had zero clue on how to defend himself. So we're gonna watch this, get into the video, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. This is why everyone needs to know how to fight and learn how to fight. Just from the mirror. So literally I don't know what this is at, but some random monkey literally came out and attacked the kid, probably trying to eat it. Who knows? But you can see it right here. The kid screaming for his life. The mom comes out, grabs the kid up. The monkey's still coming after him. The mom actually hits it with a good shot. The dad comes out. He's throwing these weak-ass side kicks that couldn't do anything. And the monkey's still attacking the kid. It has no respect for what this dad's doing. He's throwing these weak-ass kicks that aren't going to hurt anybody. And this guy clearly has no idea how to fight. So that brings us to the next point. This is why you need to learn how to fight. Even if you're not trying to go out there and fight people, that dad didn't know how to fight at all. His kid almost got snagged up by a literal monkey. So the mom had more fighting spirit than the dad. And that's pathetic. That's what we're seeing nowadays, just weaker and weaker dudes, more masculine women, and things are like going backwards. So first things first, that dude, if I was that dude, I would have kicked the monkey straight in his head. Straight up. I would have just roundhouse kicked it to his head. Super hard with ruthless, lethal intentions, because the thing's trying to attack your kid, you know what I'm saying? And it kept coming back for more. But it had no respect for the threat that was there, which is supposed to be the dad. So that brings us to the first move, the teep kick. The teep kick is a valuable move, and it's a really great move because it's a move that's very easy to learn, but at the same time, it's very versatile. If you're really good at teep kick, you can wreck people, you can break ribs, you can knock them out, you can do all types of damage. At the same time, it keeps you safe at a distance. It's a long-range attack. So this is what a teep kick looks like. This is the teep kick. Long range, your foot comes out, and you use this as essentially as like a jab. It's very similar to a jab, but it's a very, very powerful attack. So this is one of my favorite moves. I use it all the time. You know, if let's say you're in a street fight, right? And someone wants to rob you. If someone has a knife and you have to fight someone one-on-one in a knife battle, a teep kick is going to do a lot of damage. You can hit them to the knee with that teep. You can hit them to the body, hit them to the face and knock them out. At the same time, you're keeping yourself pretty safe for the most part. If you didn't have a weapon like that and they did have a weapon, at the same time, it's a defensive move. You can use that teep kick, boom, push them back and get out, run out of there. It's the same move that was famously seen in the movie 300 when Leonardo said, "This is Sparta," and he kicks dude down the hole. Same exact move. This is my favorite move. If you get really good at it, you can break people's ribs with this move. You can knock them out, break their jaw with this move. And at the same time, it's a defensive move, but it is an aggressive move. So this is the number one move that everyone should have in their arsenal. if that dad had a teep kick when the monkey was coming after, all he had to do was just blast it in the head with a teep kick. With the size that he had over the monkey, it would have been a serious blow. Serious blow. The teep kick, one of the most easiest kicks you'll ever learn. The next move that everyone should know is the jab. The jab. It's the first punch you ever learn, but it's one of the most, if not the most important punch, actually. So let's say we're in a knife fight, right? If you're in a knife fight, it's very similar to actually boxing or striking because the range is the exact same range, unless they have like a machete or something. So the jab is important because if you have a good jab, it sets up all your other punches. You get into an altercation and you need to get in and get out quickly. You have a good jab, pop, pop. It sets up all your big punches. Knowing at the same time what a jab is, in most street fights, people are going to throw big, crazy looping shots. Big, crazy looping shots trying to get a knockout. Look at it. 9 times out of 10, 95% of people don't know how to fight. And when they get angry, they're going to throw a big overhand. The jab is always going to get there before the overhand. The jab isn't necessarily a knockout punch, but it can be. And it's a very safe punch to throw. When you're in a street altercation and someone's throwing hooks at you, you're popping them with a good solid jab, they're going to be getting pieced up. They're going to be getting blinded. You know, every single second is getting pieced up, lit up. And then they get hit with a cross. They get hit with the uppercut. They get hit with the hook. Those are finishing blows. So the jab is something that everyone needs to have in their arsenal. At the same time, the jab will keep you at a distance and keep you safe. The roundhouse kick. This is a famous picture of Ronda Rousey getting head kicked, knocked out by Holly Holm. The roundhouse kick is one of the most powerful moves that the body can generate when it's done properly. Your legs hold most of the muscle in your body, the lower half, and they're way stronger than the upper half. So if you're really good with the roundhouse kick, you literally can take someone's head off. You know, like, and we see it right here with Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm. The way she got KO'd from that head kick was brutal. And if you're in a situation, let's say a knife fight, right? And you don't have a weapon, but you have to fight this person. Having that roundhouse kick in your arsenal is absolutely brutal. If you can land that head kick on somebody and you're strong and you're accurate and you have it well practiced, it's a very serious weapon. It can break your arm, it can break a leg, it can do serious damage, break ribs. When I was a kid, I would always watch martial arts. Like I watch anime. That's how I got into martial arts. On all the animes or all the top level martial artists in these animes, there would always be expert kickers. Look at Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, all the movies he did. He was a martial arts master. A lot of his fight scenes, he's not even throwing punches, he's just throwing kicks. We have a more refined idea of martial arts nowadays, but it's still to be said, like if you see some of the top level Taekwondo fighters, they throw their legs as if they're throwing fists. And it's just a more powerful way to attack. It's a more powerful way to be if you can really master your legs. So the roundhouse kick is just a brutal move. And it's a super valuable move. If that dude in the video had a roundhouse kick, it would have been over for that monkey. If he had just one good roundhouse kick, you know, it's gonna break some ribs. It's gonna do damage. You know, it's your legs. Your legs can do way more weight than your upper body can do. You know, so that brings us to the next move, the guard. Everybody wants to learn how to punch and kick and throw strikes, but the most important thing is your guard. And having a guard. Here we got Floyd Mayweather, defensive genius. If you don't know what parts on your body are vulnerable, how are you going to be able to truly keep yourself safe? So the most vulnerable parts on the human body are the temple, the chin, and behind the ear. The liver, the knees, the balls, or the genitals. Those are the most vulnerable spots on the body. So that being said, we know on the head, if you get hit in the temple, if you get hit in the chin, if you get behind the ear, all of these 3 different attacks have different effects on the body. But at the same time, you need to know how to defend these things. So if you get hit behind the ear, you're going to be dizzy. If you're going against somebody and you're fighting somebody, you know, boom, you hit them behind the ear, they're going to be dizzy. Now you can set up different moves or get away. If you get hit in the nose, your eyes are going to water. Might be momentarily hard to see. You know, if you get hit on the chin correctly, you're going to get knocked out. You're just going to go down. You're going to be rocked. Electric shock is going to go through your body and you're going to be compromised seriously. So when you have your guard and understanding these concepts, when you understand why your defense needs to be the way it needs to be, you can understand where to attack on your opponent. So defense is offense at the same time. But Floyd, he has his hands up high. Look at his guard. He's protecting his temples. His eyes are still on his opponent. He's protecting all the spots, and he's going to be able to protect all the spots that he needs to as the fight goes on. Notice here in this picture, his eyes are directly on his opponent. He can see everything. Defense starts with your eyes and your vision. From there, the guard is a constantly moving, flowing thing. It's a constant flowing concept. You can't just have a guard and keep it here like this. If someone's attacking you and it's life or death, you're going to have to evade and block multiple different things at multiple different times. So your guard, sometimes you're here protecting your temples. Sometimes you're here, long guard. Sometimes you're moving your head. You're doing different moves. Sometimes you're here. If the situation is right, you're blocking shots. But your guard is constantly changing. The same way you can't just throw a jab, cross, hook on somebody over and over and over again. You need to mix up your attacks. The same thing with the guard. So on the opposite end, when you're attacking your opponent, if they don't have a guard, they're going to be so much easier to deal with. You're going to be able to take them out. So that's something that everyone needs to know just to be effective, just to be able to defend yourself. The elbows, super valuable move. Elbows are short range attacks, but they're brutal. The elbow is one of the hardest spots on the human body. It can do serious damage. It can cut. It can break noses. It can do a lot of damage that hurt. Bop, elbow. If you elbow somebody and they get cut and the blood's leaking in their eyes, now it's harder for them to see. So you have one up. You can get out of there. There's a video of a woman being attacked at the gym. Actually, there's a woman being attacked at the gym, and the guy tried to wrestle her, tried to assault her, and you know, she was able to wrestle. You know, she was able to wrestle. She actually threw some punches, little rabbit punches. She threw a couple elbows. So it's super important to know these moves. I'm telling you straight up. I'm going to show you right now this video of this woman who got attacked in the gym, and we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. She was, for herself, she was super strong because she's a personal trainer and she constantly worked out. So that's one part of her defense that she already had. She had a physically strong body, and that ended up saving her in this scenario. But we're going to break down how this attacker went about the attack and how she was able to defend and get out of the situation. So here it is. This is a woman in her apartment gym. So first off, you always got to know your surroundings. You know, she already knew something was going weird. This dude's being a weirdo. She's creating distance, being aware of the situation, being aware where she's at. She's fast. She's able to run faster than the guy. Now she's being aggressive. She's moving. She hit him with a couple shots, couple rabbit punches. There, she could have hit him with a teep kick. He's trying to take her down. She's hitting him with a couple shots, hitting him with her phone, grappling, moving around, but she's physically strong. So she's able to defend herself, a little bit. She's hitting him with some punches. She's hitting him with a couple elbows. This is annoying. This is hurting him. He's like, oh, this is going to be way harder than I thought it was going to be. And now he is going to get out of there. And she successfully fought this weirdo off. And then, of course, she was able to dip out with the running, with her sprint. She's fast, right? So these things, your first line of defense is always going to be being able to run out of a situation, being able to run out of a scenario. But this is why elbows are important, because in a close quarter situation, when you're able to throw elbows, it makes a huge difference. They're just super, super hard, and they can do a lot of damage. So everyone needs to know how to throw elbows. Visualization. So, like I said, always when I was a kid, the way I got in martial arts was watching animes, different movies, and you'd always see, like, for example, Bruce Lee. In certain movies, he's about to have a big fight. He's sitting there meditating, zoning in, going inward. Different animes, they would always meditate when they have a big fight. In the Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi, he goes into this concept of meditating and visualizing your opponent. Visualization is the quickest way, it's a cheat code to be a better martial arts, be a better fighter, and be able to deal with certain situations better, because you can you can simulate those situations, play through them, and have your attack ready to go. You have your step in a life or death scenario a step quicker than your opponent, So if you already know when this dude throws a cross, I'm gonna pull out the way, I'm gonna throw a hook, and the other person doesn't know what they're gonna do, you're a step ahead. And these things in like super important situations like this make all the difference in the world. Something happens, you start to feel things are being weird. You have in your head an idea of what you're gonna do. Visualization, there's been studies done that you could practice a move like 25 times in any sport, and you can visualize yourself practicing that move, and it has the same exact effect, if not better. So Harvard did a study on this. That's how strong your mind is when it comes to visualization. So visualizing, what would you do if someone broke into your house? Visualizing, what would you do if you're in a street fight? Like, seriously, how would you defend yourself? How would you protect yourself? What move would you go for first? Where would you attack on the body? You finding the temple, finding the liver, finding the chin, these different spots, but having an idea and a concept and knowing that this is what you're going to do before it happens, and when it happens, makes all the difference in the world. And that's why visualization, from the highest level of fighters to the highest level of Navy SEALs, they do visualization before they go to war, before you hop in the cage. All the above makes all the difference in the world. Matter of fact, that's what John Jones said made him into the fighter that he became. He get really, really good when he started to visualize the moves. Same thing with McGregor. At one point, he would just call his shot and know what he was going to knock you out with, because his visualization practice was so deep. The next move everyone should know and know how to defend is the rear naked choke. When it comes to martial arts, when it comes to fighting, self-defense, you need to know how to defend a choke, because if you don't understand how chokes work, the 99% of people out there who don't know how to fight, if someone tries to do something to you or one of your relatives, whatever, they don't know how to defend a choke. They don't know how the mechanisms of a choke work. You're at just a major disadvantage. When it comes to the rear naked choke, this one, the carotid arteries get cut off. The blood supply gets cut off, which the oxygen gets cut off to the head and to the brain, and it causes you to pass out. This is literally like a life or death thing. If you understand it and you understand in this scenario how to defend and what's going on, it can save your life, literally. And on the opposite end, you know, it could take somebody out if you need to go there. You see here, as he has the choke, Roger Gracie, Kevin Randleman, rest in peace, he has the choke. The arteries are getting cut off. He's squeezing him. All of the muscles in the back and the core and the legs are being used on this choke. It's the most powerful choke, the rear naked choke. You look at in the animal kingdoms, all the animals who were the strongest, who really dominate, like lions, tigers, stuff, the predators, really, they always go for the neck. They always go for the neck. So bears usually go for, they don't really go for kill, but the ones that go for the kill, they usually always go for the neck. You can control the posture, all this different stuff. It's just a powerful move. I believe in all of martial arts, the rear naked choke is probably the most powerful move. And someone who really knows how to do it and it has a good sequence to it, you cannot let somebody get your back. If you can fight somebody one-on-one, you get knocked out, okay, you could die for sure. But one thing we know for sure, you cannot ever let somebody get on your back. And that's why I think the rear naked choke is the most powerful move in all of martial arts. Because you get someone a rear naked choke, they pass out, and you hold on to it, it's over with. That's for sure. It's over with, So it is the most powerful move. And we've seen Hixon Gracie go in the UFC as a small guy and destroy big guys with this move, the rear naked choke. So I believe it's the most powerful move. It's one that everyone should know how to defend and how to do it. Also, if someone goes for a choke and they don't know what they're doing, as long as you can keep your arteries clear and the blood is going to your brain, you're going to be safe. If you don't know how to defend that and just get that little space to get the blood to your brain, it's not going to go well, So everyone needs to know how to defend that. And my personal favorite, the double leg takedown. First day of wrestling, even before when you're a kid and you're just living life, you're a kid, everybody gets into wrestling with their buddies, and they do the first move they do, even if a kid is just automatically ingrained in us, is a double leg. You grab the legs, boom, take the person down. The double leg is one of the most important moves to me in fighting because number one, if you have a good double leg, you double leg someone out on the concrete, they could die from that, literally. You could break ribs, you could do serious damage with a powerful double leg. So also at the same time, you don't want to get double legged. You don't want to get double legged and not know how to defend it, because someone who knows how to really fight and knows how to do a double leg is gonna wreck you. You know what I'm saying? So the double leg is one of those moves that everyone needs to know if you're trying to keep yourself safe just in life. So we'll do a quick recap. The jab, it's a long range punch. The teep kick, it's a long range kick. The double leg, the rear naked choke, knowing how to visualize the elbow, the guard, the head kick, the roundhouse kick. Those are moves that everyone should know in fighting. Because nobody wants to be like, imagine what it's like to be that guy, that old guy, or that he wasn't even old. He's like probably 35 max. And something comes out to attack your kid and you're not even able to defend your kid. The mom was stronger than you. The mom had more aggression than you. The mom was able to defend the kid better than you. That's pathetic. It's really pathetic. Like, you didn't even throw, the kicks you were throwing weren't serious kicks. Like, it's a monkey literally trying to like rip your kid apart. These monkeys can literally do serious damage. Back in the day, there's a story of that lady who got her hands ripped off and her face ripped off by the monkey, right? So Is like, imagine being that guy. This is going on, and you can't even defend your 2-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everyone should know how to do these moves. A lot of people will say, "Oh, well, why should I learn how to fight? I have a gun or I have a pew pew, right? I have a pew pew. I'll just do that. I have a concealed carry. I'll just do that." Yeah, but here's the thing: if I have a sword, but I don't understand the concepts and the philosophies of fighting, then there's no point in me having a sword. Most important things of being a man is being able to defend and protect your family, defend and protect the people you love, defend and protect yourself, you know? So that's why I felt this video needed to be made. So so many people nowadays, actually most people nowadays don't know just even the basics. They literally don't know. The first thing they do is they throw a big crazy overhand and that's it. You know, I've seen some crazy videos of people trying to throw hands and they don't know what they're doing at all. And it's so funny because, like I said, testosterone's on the decline. People are getting more and more overweight and obese. It's on the incline. People don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to 1960, most people probably knew how to fight. If you go back further, 1930, 1920, people knew how to fight because of the world wars. They were training. Before that, people knew how to fight. You know what I'm saying? The Greeks, people knew how to fight, you know? So it's like people are getting weaker, people are getting dumber, people are getting, the testosterone levels are lowering. You take the average man today, you take the average man 200 years ago. I truly believe that average man of 200 years ago probably destroyed the dude of today, the average man of today. Even the tough guys we have. You know what I'm saying? If you look at some of the warriors they had back in the day, especially some of the Greek statues, if those were accurate, those dudes were beasts. They were super beasts. And they knew how to fight, you know, they really did. So it's like people are getting weaker. It's just a fact. People are getting weaker. And these are things that I think people knew back in the day, and most people knew it, but nowadays, most people don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about martial arts. It's been going on since the dawn of time. And it's been, martial arts is for the purposes of war. Everyone knew how to fight because you had to protect your family. There was no super soft society. You know what I'm saying? There was no police force. There was no, you know, these things. You had to know how to fight. You think cavemen didn't know how to fight? You think cavemen didn't know how to fight and protect themselves, and they're out there fighting woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers? But you look at the average man of today, a monkey attacking his offspring, didn't know what to do at all. Rose up, didn't know what to do, had no type of testosterone in his body, had no type of concept of how to fight, had no concept of just a teep kick or a roundhouse kick. If you get into an altercation, if you get into a real fight, I always say avoid it at all costs. But if you get into this scenario, then you should be thinking like ruthless intentions with your strikes. That's the difference. When you go, and I learned this through my own fighting career. When you look at pictures of some of the best fighters, some of the most ruthless knockout artists, like Mike Tyson, like Jose Aldo, like Muhammad Ali, you know, these different people. When you look at them throwing punches, the look they have on their face, every single muscle in their body is engaged on this punch. And there's a certain amount of intent behind that attack and behind that punch or kick. And this makes all the difference in the world. The guy, when he threw that little small kick to the monkey, he had no serious intent behind that. I want to show you guys what I mean. I want to show you guys You can see what I mean. You can see this in fighters, and you guys might not even known, you know, exactly what you're seeing, or maybe you did. But right here, when we look at Mike Tyson, throwing a punch, okay? Look at the look on his face. Look at the intent. Every muscle in his body is engaged. Look here, Mike Tyson throwing a punch. Look at that. Look at the disdain on his face. He's like, nah, I'm going to destroy this dude. I'm going to wreck this dude. I'm going to maul this dude. And at the same time, he has technique. This is universal with all knockout artists, all fighters. When you see them in the freeze frame pictures, their intention on their face is like, I have to destroy this dude. I have to go through this person. If we did a freeze frame on the dad with the kicking the monkey, it would be like the most softest look, like probably kind of scared. But it's like, nah, you have to, if you go in a situation where you have to defend yourself, then it's on. You know, someone's trying to put harm on you, you got to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to wreck them. And that's where it's like the people who say, oh, if I get in a situation, I was just gonna pull out the pew pew. Doesn't really work that way. Doesn't work that way. You know, people say, why would I train when I have a concealed carry? Most foolish thing ever. Most foolish thing ever. I want to show you guys Hixon Gracie choke. All right. It's a documentary about one of the most iconic fighters, martial artists. He's from the Gracie family, and he had an undefeated record in his MMA career, like 16-0, something like that. There's a documentary of a tournament he had in Japan where they fought, I believe, 2 or 3 times in the night. Hixon finished most of the fights with a rear naked choke. That's why I'm saying, like, the rear naked choke is the most powerful move in all of martial arts. You know, everyone talks about the death action is law. Everyone talks about the death punch. It's not a real thing. This is real though. Check it. This is Hixon Gracie choke.
I feel myself as an artist. I like to do things because it's beautiful, it's intense, it's edge, you know, it's action, is love. I like put my energy in life and intensity. Without jiu-jitsu, it's worse than cut my 2 legs. It's gonna be all my philosophy, all my values. So it's hard to understand myself without jiu-jitsu.
And this is what I mean. Hixon said, without jiu-jitsu, it's like it's worse than if you cut off my 2 arms and 2 legs. He's an amazing fighter, an amazing martial artist, amazing individual because of the whole philosophy of the martial arts, of his martial art. This is what I mean. When I'm talking about defensive concepts, when it comes to self-defense martial arts, in these certain scenarios, it permeates more than just you're fighting somebody. It's really like who you are, you know. Whenever you go into a situation where you're fighting somebody and you're attacking, you're going full on trying to wreck that person. That's how you live your life. You go after your goals full on. You try to destroy your goals. You try to win your goals. It's not just about fighting. It's more about martial arts, about the philosophies, about who you become and who you are.
it's my time to do something important. You know, after so much training, after so much work, after so much effort, it's like a very interesting feeling when you feel yourself in your time to be capable to expose yourself in a way to fight and compete. That's what means a victory or defeat or anything, but just be able to to do it, you know.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Just being able to do it. A lot of the most profound philosophers were warriors. A lot of the most amazing fighters were also philosophers, like Mike Tyson, Marcus Aurelius, Hixon Gracie. Because whenever you're a warrior, whenever you're fighting people, you have to learn the cold, hard truth about the world. So through this process, you gain a lot of insights. That's why you might like watch the fights and you see a fighter, hear how old they are, and you're like, damn, that dude's super young, but he looks super old. You know what I'm saying? Or feels super old. It's because you're going through war, you're fighting people, you know, you understand more about how things are in a weird way. And it's something that I've seen consistently, something I've seen real consistently.
I'm very into the physical, the body as a machine, we need really take care of.
Now, this part right here coming up is super, super interesting to me. When I'm talking about the visualization aspect and how you can get so much better, so quicker with meditation, visualization, and knowing what's going to happen or having a plan for what's going to happen if you get into a altercation, street fight. What are you going to do if someone breaks into your house? What are you going to do if someone pulls a gun up, pulls a pew pew on you whenever you're at your car? Have you ever thought of these scenarios? Like, what would you do? You know, hopefully it never happens, but having a visual map, an idea like, okay, this is what I would do. And then if the situation happens, you're not going to freeze up. You're going to have a plan. Hixon talks about visualization, the power of visualization. I've studied all the great fighters. All of them use visualization, whether it's through prayer or whether it's through meditating or however they do it. Pretty much universally, all the best fighters, uh, military people, they all use visualization. So Hickson's about to talk about it.
You know, so I try be beside a fighter. I try keep my physical very smooth as and a combination where I can be very flexible, very strong, very fast, very well coordinate, with a good balance, with a good breathing. So those elements I try combine. Sometimes when I make my routines, I get in a very special stage of meditation. And this is beautiful because I'm able to exercise
Visualization.
and totally clean my mind and keep myself in the present moment. When you control your breath, you can actually control yourself mentally and physically. You can really understand your fears and your emotional stress.
So when it comes to to this, like Hixon broke it down perfectly. Most people are walking around in the world, like I said, 95%, maybe 99% of people don't know how to fight. They walk around super anxious, scared, because they know they don't know how to fight, know how to defend themselves. They don't have much confidence. They're timid. They feel weak. And then they are actually weak. And they're unhealthy. And they walk through the world just feeling like absolute trash. So visualization, way Hixon was putting it all together, having a strong body makes you have a strong mind. Having a strong mind, strong body. Being able to breathe. All these things are part of the philosophy of his philosophy and his martial art. So it goes through, it kind of permeates in everything he does. So if he gets in a scenario where he has to defend himself or his family or whatever, he has a list of principles that's already downloaded in his mind through his training. So he already knows what to do. We all have programming. Everything has programming. You could choose your programming. The programming that guy had in the beginning of the video, who was like barely kicking at the monkey, his kid's about to get ripped to shreds, but the mom was saving the kid. The guy had the programming of a weakness, of a weakling and a coward. You know what I'm saying? He probably never stepped in a martial arts studio a day in his life. Therefore, he has no confidence. He's physically weak. Therefore, he has no confidence. He's supposed to be the protector of his family, but he's physically weak and he's not in shape. So, and he has no plan for how to defend. He has no aggression or no true intent. Like, I got to finish this fight right now. So, and it shows. As where Hixon, on the other hand, he has his program, he has his philosophy, he has his martial arts that permeates through more than just fighting. He's a fighter, but it's more of a spiritual type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's more of it goes deeper than just being a fighter and having the moments in the ring. You don't have to be a fighter. This is why you should learn how to fight and know how to fight. And the moves that everybody should know is the jab, the teep kick, the roundhouse kick, the double leg takedown. The most strongest move in all martial arts, the rear naked choke, elbows, and visualization, mental visualization. And also, last but not least, defensive guard. Protect your chin, your temple, and behind your ear, and your liver, and your groin. All these places have a different effect on the body. The knee, you're fighting somebody, you're in a scenario of fighting somebody, bop, you kick the knee out, you stomp the knee out. Now they're crippled. You know what I'm saying? In a life or death scenario, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, you take somebody down, boom, you get them out, you get their arm, pop, you break it, arm bar, right? Or on the opposite, someone tries to grab you up, tries to take you, kidnap you, whatever. Like as a kid, boom, they try to grab you by your neck. You know how to defend a rear naked choke though. So now that saved your life, you know. You're out and about, you get in an altercation with somebody, they grab you up. I've seen so many videos of this. You get taken down, lifted up in the air, boom, slam down on your head. People have died like that. Many people have died like that. Or the opposite. You need to defend your family. Boom, you lift someone up, slam them down. They break their ribs. Boom, they're incapacitated. Basically, what I'm saying is everybody should know how to fight and learn how to fight. You know, everyone should at least bare minimum know how to do a teep kick. Because if you get into a knife fight or something like that, it's one of the most important moves to have that can keep you safe, especially if someone has a weapon and you don't. Someone has a baseball bat, right? And they're coming at you. But yeah, and you have a teep kick, pop. If it's good and strong, You could break someone's bones. You can knock them out. You could do serious damage. You can get them off of you. You know, these moves are important. 9 times out of 10, you get into a street fight, it's going to be someone's going to throw a big, crazy overhand. Most people are right-handed, so it's probably going to be an overhand right. If you have a good defense, boom, you can block that, pop, take him down. You can block that, hit him with a hook. You can block that, head kick. You know what I'm saying? So these things go a long way. And when it comes to your loved ones and stuff like that, the more you know, the better. You know, the more you know, the better. 9 times out of 10, it's literally because people get caught up in situations that are pretty easy to get out of or defend yourself in, but they just don't know better. Like, for example, you can't ever let somebody be so close. You know what I'm saying? You can't ever let somebody be close to you to where you can't see what they're going to do. And there's so many different scenarios of this happening. Like, for example, road rage incidences, right? So this is a road rage incident right here from the New York Post. I've never seen this. So we're about to see it for the first time. I'm going to see what it's about. Yeah, I mean, like I said, look at that. What happened? The chick came out with a weapon. The chick is flaring her kicks at her. There was no hands really thrown. They were just like winging shots. If someone knew how to throw an elbow, the one chick should have threw an elbow, boom, right in the chick's temple. You know what I'm saying? She would have done some serious damage. If any of those chicks knew how to throw a push kick, it would have changed the story up. Also, you shouldn't really be getting in, like, if it's a scenario like road rage, you should just be able to like drive away. You know what I'm saying? Or just like talk it out. But if you really, really need to, like, for example, the chick hit her with a weapon, yeah, you're gonna have to fight. You know what I'm saying? It still rings true. The one chick who got kicked in the head, she went for like a takedown. She didn't know what she was doing. She got kicked in the head. You know what I'm saying? But all the moves I'm talking about hold true. You know, let's go back and kind of break it down. Let's go back and break it down even further. Now look, first thing this chick should have done, first thing this chick who just came in the frame should have done is never let that girl get that close to her. She should have thrown some type of strike there. If someone's that close to you, you could throw an elbow. The other girl getting hit with the thing, when she came out, you know, she should have threw her elbow right there. She should have thrown the elbow. The other girl here, she's trying to go for a takedown, but she's getting wrecked. That's what I'm talking about. She doesn't know how to do a double leg. Now they're down. 9 times out of 10, most fights become a grappling match. Nobody threw a clean jab. Nobody knew how to fight in that video. Yeah, there were women. So, you know, most women don't know how to fight, let alone most men don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? So, but the moves I'm talking about still ring true, you know? So here's another video, another one right here. And this is from this is a Gracie breakdown, actually. So let's take a look at this. Here we see Here we see. So I've never seen this before. I'm gonna assume just from what we're looking at right now, I can tell the dude in the red shorts is gonna win. Take a look. He's in a fight stance. He has his hands up. Other dude has his hands down. He's just couldn't have a care in the world. Let's see how this happens. Let's see how it happens here. Like I said, dude's always gonna throw a crazy overhand. But however, this dude doesn't know how to fight, but still, he threw a jab cross. That was a real legit jab cross. Double leg. Right there. Fake double leg. Here comes the slam. There goes the slam. Now, dude on the bottom has no clue at all what to do here. He doesn't have a clue what to do here. They're wrestling around, they're grappling around. Now dude's hitting him with some big shots from the top in mount position. It's over with. Dude gave up his back. In a life or death scenario, that's over with. He's put the choke on you there. This guy has no idea what he's doing. He's about to get slammed again. He's about to get slammed again. He's getting tripped. He's getting manhandled to the ground. Heavy pressure on the crossface. Right? Now look. Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Like I said with visualization, you think that dude that's the first time he's ever thought of that scenario playing out? No, it's not the first time that dude's ever thought of that scenario playing out. He's visualized that moment multiple times. He did the jab cross. He did the double leg, right? He didn't throw no kicks, but he's doing every move I'm talking about when it comes to what everyone should know. And he's wrecking dude, not really taking no damage. He's doing it like perfectly here. He's for real doing it perfect. Heavy pressure with the crossface. He's pinning his arm down. This dude on the bottom, he's done for. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. People are starting to come in because it's over with here. You know what I'm saying? The other guy probably never, ever even thought, look, rear naked choke. Rear naked choke. He's trying to throw some punches there, but this is like, it's over for you. It's over for you. It's over for you. So here's the thing. The first time I ever got put in a rear naked choke or I got into a real fight, I realized that this other man could kill me if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know how to fight. And that's where it's like, I became obsessed with it. I'm like, nah, I'm going to learn how to fight. I'm going to learn how to do this. And we just saw word for word what I said. I've never seen that video before. We just saw word for word what I said go down. The rear naked choke is the most ruthless, strongest move in all of martial arts. It's literally the #1 move. That's like the death punch, the rear naked choke. There's no 5-finger death punch, but there is the rear naked choke. And it's the most ruthless move, the most dangerous move in martial arts. And it's a real true finishing move. Bro came out through the jab cross, clean punches. He had his guard up, his hands up. The other dude, hands down, kind of just like, oh, you're underestimating the dude. Other guy, he throws a big crazy hook. Like I said, that's what most people are going to throw. Other dude backs up. He throws some big crazy hooks. Fake double leg, boom. That stuff right there, that guy has thought about fighting and visualized it multiple times. So whenever he got in a scenario, he knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly what to do. So we're going to watch it again from start to finish. And we're just going to kind of show this dude some love with this video here, with this finish, man. It's beautiful. Clean jab cross. Bop. Look at this double leg. Look at this double leg. This is a beautiful setup. And look, and more importantly, look at the dude he's fighting. Look how he throws his jab cross. He tries to throw a hook, right? So look, right now, I'll tell you, if you don't know how to fight and you get in the scenario, if you are able to throw a fake, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna throw the right hand. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Show some love. Let me know your fight stories. Drop a comment below. Hit that like button. Peace.